My reign as a Jeopardy champion lasted almost 35 minutes.
This was coming, like the waiting room of the vasectomist, and I know that's not what he's called. I know there's like a fancy word, but...
If you leave, I have nothing left to live for.
So my husband, when we were first dating and in our relationship and married, he would say this really nice thing. He would say, when I was a boy, when I was, say, 12, if you had told me that I will live in Washington, D.C. and be a lawyer, that I'll have my own apartment, and if you had shown me a picture of Erin and said, I can see this woman naked whenever I want, I would have been like, yeah. You know, it was so sweet, really, that he said that. And he can see me naked whenever he wants. But I think it will not be a big surprise to a lot of people in the room to know that it's not really as glamorous as maybe that 12-year-old would have thought. And there's just, some things that happen that take the shine off that right away. But the best example probably was right after our first child was born. 3 days later, we went to a well checkup at the pediatrician, and I was, sleep deprived and not knowing what I was doing and feeling all postpartum and all that. And I was trying to act like I knew what I was doing. And the lactation consultant came in and she said, how's the baby feeding? And I said, well, my milk hasn't come in yet, but I think the baby is latching on correctly, but I'd like to show you so you can tell me for sure. And she said, oh, sure, we can do that. And so I, get the baby, put the baby on, and the baby is like a feral pig, and the lactation consultant, she's trying to, be sweet to me, and she's like, maybe your milk just came in at this very moment, but the child is gulping, the child is fine, like, oh, good, what a relief, and so, I'm looking not at my best. I'm 3 days postpartum, and what I was wearing was, a big shirt of Dennis's, a button-down shirt that I could, easily get where I needed to go. Maternity shorts, Dennis's boxer shorts underneath that, just to keep everything kind of loose down there, because everything from here down could only be described as carnage. I mean, just, it was awful. And there's probably other women in here who have had babies, I think. And you will know what I mean when I say that, like, all the party favors they give you at the hospital, I needed all of them. And so I got the boxer shorts on, the big maternity shorts, and they had given me in the hospital these little, they looked like Stridex pads, like you would clean your face with, but they said, these have, stuff on them, and just tuck them around in there, and it'll feel better, So I had tucked here, there, So I'm in the lactation room still, and the baby's going to town, but it's all good. The baby's fine, and so we're packing up, and I've got the baby in the diaper bag, and Dennis is carrying the car seat, whatever, and we're walking out of the room. And he said, "Erin, tend to yourself," and like I had not buttoned up the nursing bra, but everything's like full on Playboy, just like, And so I get that all taken care of. And then I go walking down the hall with my 3-day-old baby in my arms and walking, and Dennis says, Erin, you dropped something. And the stuff that was tucked down below had just slid out onto the floor. And I have the baby, and I turned around and I said, well, Dennis, pick it up. And he very gingerly picked it up, found the nearest trash can, and threw it away. So I guess the upshot is, yeah, he can see me naked whenever he wants, and he's lucky. But I'm lucky because I can be naked in front of him. So thanks.
So good. Oh my God.